Okay, so for the first video on my channel, I decided I'm going to let all one of my subscribers know a little bit more about me. So what better thing to talk about than my favourite films? So I went over to my Letterboxd, follow me on Letterboxd, looked at what I currently have listed as my 4 favourites, and here we are with the first film on the list. Superbad. Just a quick spoiler warning for those who haven't seen the film, that I will be discussing pivotal plot points, so go watch the film. It's on Netflix, you have no excuse. Superbad is a film about 2 high schoolers, Seth and Evan, on the brink of graduation. Seth is lusting for sex and Evan likes a girl in his class. The 2 of them get invited to a party and are in charge of supplying the alcohol due to their friend Fogel's fake ID. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Fogel gets taken by the police and leaves Seth and Evan trying to get alcohol for the party, in the hopes of getting with 2 girls, Becca and Jules. So what makes Superbad special to me? Well, let's go over the themes and messages the film tries to convey. The film's main messages rely on friendship and confidence. Seth and Evan are childhood best friends. They've had each other for a very long time. But now that they realise that their time is over, they begin to show signs of fear. Seth tries to find a girlfriend for the summer so he doesn't have to focus on Evan, and Evan tries his best to hide his Dartmouth plans so he doesn't upset Seth. This dilemma is presented pretty early on in the film when Evan's mum asks them if they'll miss each other. They both joke about it, but you can see that these jokes stem from the fact they will miss each other. On top of all this, the characters both suffer from a lack of self-confidence. Evan wants to ask out his classmate Becca, but is too scared to do it, despite the clear implications that she in fact does like him too. And Seth wants to be the guy who delivers the alcohol to the party so everyone can see how cool he is, especially Jules. Once again, this theme of confidence, and rather lack thereof, is displayed at the start of the film when Seth and Evan are picked on by the bully from school. They both take it because they still have each other. Only that won't be the case for much longer, so they bicker about it throughout the film. These types of interactions happen a lot in the film to drive this point further. So how does this film combat and resolve the issues it's created? Well, the confidence issue gets resolved for the characters internally. Towards the end of the film, Seth has delivered the alcohol and Evan is with a drunk Becca in bed. They have both completed their plan for the night, but things still don't go as they intended. Seth discovers that Jules doesn't want to get with a drunk Seth, and Evan doesn't want to take advantage of a drunk Becca. The realization hits the characters that they would have actually had a better chance with these girls if they had simply been themselves. Once they realize this, helped by Seth and Evan professing their love to each other, they gain the confidence needed to make their way with Jules and Becca, as well as come to terms with their own separation and how their love for one another is something to be proud of, showcased perfectly in the sleepover scene at the end of the film. The film turns what on the surface looks like a typical boner comedy full of misogyny and grotesque language into a heartfelt coming-of-age story highlighting self-worth, friendship, and respect towards women, whilst fighting against toxic masculinity in the form of the love that Seth and Evan share for each other. Now, whilst all this stuff goes on, there's also a secondary plot point that features Fogel/McLovin and officers Slater and Michaels spending a lot of time having fun, driving around, and overall just having a blast. On the surface, this looks like nothing more than something to spice up the film and create entertaining jokes. But this is a good thing about Superbad. The jokes are in service of the story, not the other way around. This is clear as we realise that officers Slater and Michaels actually lack self-confidence themselves, much like Evan and Seth. This is shown during the scene in which the officers cock-block McLovin. They explain to him that they know he isn't the age he says he is, and just wanted to show him that cops could be cool. This shows us that even as adults we can still lack self-confidence. But that doesn't mean we can't gain confidence through the help of our friends and ourselves. The term relatable is thrown around a lot, particularly when talking about films, but I stand by it when it comes to this one. We've all been a teenager in high school. It's not the easiest place to be confident all the time. Most of us have a high school best friend that you couldn't imagine life without. And perhaps one of the most confident acts one could do is to take that step without them. But friendship is also very important. So it's good to let your friends know how much you care about them from time to time. Superbad uses the masquerade of getting laid in the same way the characters do. They use this agenda to cover up a deeper message about friendship and how it can be scary to face life without that person who's been by your side this whole time. It's a story that can relate to a lot of graduating high schoolers and helps a lot of us come to terms with it, much like the characters do themselves. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like it, subscribe if you want to see more, or leave a comment if you want to see something different. Thank you again, and bye.